Alright, so I'm starting off by toning my face. I'm using a Neutrogena toner on a cotton pad just to make sure my face is as clean as possible. Then I am going in with my Tatcha moisturizer. This is great for any of the girls with dry skin, and I mean dry skin. Then I'm going in with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. Just pressing that into my skin. Then I'm going to start with my illuminator, and I'm putting that directly in all of my highlighted points in my face, I would say. And I'm just using that big fluffy brush just to blend that in. This is just going to give me a guide to where I'm going to highlight later, and also going to give me a glow from within, basically. So I'm going to put it on my forehead, underneath my eyes, and my chin. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take some Nars foundation. This is a little bit darker. So I'm just going to take this foundation on the perimeter of my face. I'll put the names in the description box below. I just don't know it off the top of my head right now. But yeah. So I'm just doing some what they call underneath painting. Nothing is for coverage right now. So yeah, I'm just doing some underneath painting, making sure the colors are bringing out, the colors I'm putting on my face, I'm bringing it out from my body as well. And just so everything blends together, you know. So now I'm going to do some concealer. So I feel like I have a neutral undertone. Like I have some yellows and I have some olives, you can see like in my chest. So basically I'm just using this concealer to bring out those undertones. Yeah, this is just for color right now. We're still just color correcting, I guess you can say, before we put our foundation on top. And I'm just going to apply that with my finger, and then I'm going to go in with a Real Techniques beauty sponge and press it into my skin. So as you can see, like my skin looks like really good, like so I'm going to use that same blender and just press in my foundation. This foundation is also Nars. This is in the color Tahoe. So I'm just going to put that everywhere. Now using a cosmetic sponge, I'm going to take some concealer and go ahead and highlight. So the first thing we did was conceal. Now we're just using our concealer as a highlight and just highlight underneath our eyes. You can use a sponge, a brush, whatever you prefer. And now I'm going to take my Mercier translucent setting powder and just press that into my skin. I'm using a clean beauty blender doing this. I'm not using the same one I did when I did my foundation. So the one I used for my foundation, I used to blur out any of the creases, and then I go in with a clean beauty sponge with the Mercier on top, and then just pat it into my skin. Then I'm going to use my Sephora Micro Smooth powder, and then with a kind of a flat fluffy brush, I'm going to pounce that into my highlighted areas just so everything has a nice finish. And now what I'm going to do, I love setting powder with color, so I'm using the Maybelline Loose Setting powder. I'm using numbers 20 and 30. I mixed them together. And I love layering my translucent powder or my loose powders, period, because it gives a flawless finish as well, underneath the eyes, that is. So now I'm going in and bronzing. I'm using my Bennye powder in nutmeg. And I love this powder. I have like almost all of the powders now. Midnight powders are really, really fine. So that's what I really, really like about them. And it's so easy to move. So I'm using a big fluffy brush. This is probably like a blush brush, but I'm just going to use it to bronze. And then with that same Maybelline Loose Powder combination, I'm just going to clean up underneath my chin. Oh, God. This is not my chin. The side of my contour. I'm just going to clean up the side of my contour. And then I'm going to put a little bit of that bronzer over it just so it's not a harsh line down there. Now on to my eyebrows. I actually did not include eyebrows in this tutorial, but you know, if y'all want a updated eyebrow routine, just thumbs up this video. Alright, so now this is for my nose contour. I'm just using my MAC foundation powder and just going to draw some lines on my nose and then pull it into my eyebrows. That's really it. My eyes are done. I did my eyes off camera, so now I'm coming back in with my blush. So blush, I'm using the Sephora blush palette. And this is like a brown color, but it comes up kind of purple on the skin, on brown skin that is. And then I'm going to use a gold highlight from that palette as well. And I'm going to actually put a lot of highlight on, and I'm going to blend it out really, really good, just so you don't see a line. I want it to just be like I was just glowing, you know. I'm going to put it on my nose, and then the bridge of my nose, and then the rest that's on my brush, I'm gonna just put that on my forehead, and that's it. This is my updated foundation routine. Give this look a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video.